Somewhere Mombasa Road, roadblock has been mounted there just to ensure all matatu which are accessing the CBD are being monitored and checked to ensure that there is no Gen Z in those vehicles who are coming to demonstrate within the CBD. And also, just to paint the picture on the situation in Mombasa, several shops are still closing their shops here, but there are some sections which have started to open just because of the calmness which has been witnessed since this time here. But also, we've talked to several residents here in Mombasa and also civil society groups who came out to just see how the situation is here. And they just told us that from the situation and the heavy police presence has made the Gen Z not to come out for the Nane Day. But with me here also are some of the residents here. I'll just talk to them and see what they have to say. What's your name and what do you have to say about the Nane Days? And up to now, we have not witnessed any Gen Z within the CBD.
I'm Francis Auma. I'm a rapid response officer working for Muslim for Human Rights in Mombasa. Today we thought people will come out, but for our surprise, this tense because many shops have been closed down and heavy police presence. And we haven't seen anybody coming out for demonstration. Kind of tense, but calm. What we feel, we don't know, because the day is not yet ended. It has not ended, and you never know. Anything can happen from now. Like the other time, people are saying, oh, it is quite okay, it is fine, and then suddenly people started to troop in. So we feel so far so good, and we are hoping even if they come out, no need police to use excessive force or to disperse them, because it is their right to do demonstration.
During morning hours and up to now we are seeing groups of youths who are just within hotels here, but they fear to come out. Perhaps what do you see is forcing them not to come out?
Mobilization was done in Nairobi, and the message went out that everybody should converge in Nairobi. Demonstration was to be done in Nairobi. So probably that is one of the factors that people thought not Mombasa or anywhere but Nairobi. So many people, I believe, went to Nairobi. But so far, Mombasa, it is calm.
Okay, thank you very much. Just your name and today we have not witnessed Gen Z demonstration here. What's your take on that?
I think my name is Matthias Shipeta. Part of the reason why there's less number or Gen Z demonstrations have gone down is because of the issues that Gen Zs had addressed, that they wanted the government to work on. If you look at the finance bill, immediately the finance bill went down. Many people pulled out of the demonstration. When they started involving the leaders of opposition, also a huge number of people pulled out. So as we speak, these issues, the more they are being addressed, the more the numbers are going down. And if you look at the situation for today, Nane is that majority of the protesters were to do it in Nairobi. So many travel all the way from Mombasa to Nairobi.
But why many police presence here if the demonstration were to be held in Nairobi?
I think the police don't trust the fact that there might be not anything happening in Mombasa. There was fear that there was still some more people planning a demonstration in Mombasa. That's why we've seen the heavy presence of police. Even if you look at even the number of shops that are open, many of them had closed for fear that there might be a demonstration and where looting and destroying of property usually happens. So I think it's out of the history of knowing that these demonstrations are not normally planned and or done in the way that it's been publicized. Sometimes the police are caught in a surprise. So they do not want to be caught in this surprise. That's why they are still in the streets trying to quell the situation.
As a human rights activist, what do you have to say about what is going on here in the country and for the Gen Z and the police? If the Gen Z, they get the chance to come out, what message do you have for them?
No, the message to the Gen Z is that they have the right to protest. It's given. This right is given in the Constitution. And if they feel that the issues have not been addressed, they can still come to the streets. But we have seen many of the issues have been addressed, and that's why many have pulled out of the demonstrations.
Thank you very much. I have a man here who I met him in all demonstrations which took place in Mombasa. Why today I have not seen your colleagues in the street?
Thank you. Me, I'm Collins Ochengo Bado from Mombasa, the chairman of Tuk Tuk Association. As I told you before, it seems as if now the Gen Z men, they have come to their brain. They have to encounter their brain. They have just settled down. They have just rethink and come to do something useful. That is why they say that they have not decided to come today.
Perhaps are you satisfied with the people who have been nominated to the CS position in this country, of whom they have been sworn in today, and also your grievances? Have they been addressed, all of them?
In fact, I'm very, very excited. I'm very, very excited, and then I congratulate our President, Ruto, for what he have done, and to the CS that he have just selected. I'm very, very happy with them. What now I'm urging them that they're just supposed to go and work, and they make sure they work properly. That is what I can urge. Let the CS that have been selected by the President, you work and make sure that you work properly. That is what I'm urging them. It is the time now to work now, to show that you are working, and you are supposed to work. It is work, and you have to do your work genuinely. That is what I'm urging them. But I'm very happy with what the President have done.
So you are happy with the broad-based government, and perhaps what message do you have for the CS which have been just nominated and also appointed to perform their duty? And for the CS, one of them of whom is coming from this county, the former Governor Ali Hassan Joho. What do you have to say?
Yeah, I know Joe. I'm very, very happy. As you me, I know Joe knows me very well. As he usually say that I'm a hardworking. You know that I'm hardworking on Tuk Tuk. As you receive this yes, Mana Joe, I'm really very, very, very happy. So what I'm saying that Joe, you have to assist one another. This young man also, when somebody come into your office, make sure you work properly, you work nicely, so that you are not being again to have this problem that tena mmevutwa kazi. You just work and work properly and work genuinely. That is what I'm urging. But I'm very, very happy with what the President has done.
Asante sana basi kwa maoni yako haya. These are just some of the residents here in Mombasa, and also civil society groups and activists. They have been giving their opinion on what is going on in Mombasa, but the picture is that the situation is calm in Mombasa today. No demonstration are taking place, but only police officers are patrolling within the CBD just to ensure there is the Nane demonstration. They do not take place here, and also for the traders and also the transport sectors, all is well. The movement is okay within the CBD, but what will be monitoring is to see on whether those groups of the Gen Z who are also within these shops here and also within the CBD, they will turn out. So we'll be just checking and see what will be going on within Mombasa County and also in other parts of this coastal region, so that we can update our viewers whenever they are. From Mombasa, I am Boniface Msange. Back to you.
All right, that's Boniface Musangi. Thank you so much for the update and the details on what is happening in Mombasa as far as sports are concerned. Of course, heavy police presence, just like you reported, the streets are a little bit deserted and not business as usual. Now, we want to come back here in the city, and reporter Ben Kirira is in the Central Business District, just taking a look at what the business environment looks like. Kirira.
Very well, Brian. I'm here at Ronald Ngala in the Central Business District. Businesses, as you said, remain deserted, and perhaps you can see to my left, quite a number of businesses here remain shut. The doors remain shut. As you can see, this is some of the main shops. There are no activities really going on. Quite a few moments ago, the police officers here.
All right, now we'll be getting back to that a little bit later on to just get an update on exactly what is happening on the ground as far as businesses are concerned here in Nairobi, and also the protests. Are people taking to the streets? What exactly is happening? Are people being arrested? What is the reaction from the police officers, of course? And I want, in relation to that, I just want us to raise something. This is a letter by the Police Reforms Working Group and the Law Society of Kenya in relation to what is happening today in the country. Now, it says, a section of it rather, says that the Police Reforms Working Group and the Law Society of Kenya remains concerned about the continued incidents of abductions. Now, these cases must be thoroughly and effectively investigated by IPOA to ensure that perpetrators are held accountable, considering the protests planned for today. Now, we call upon the National Police Service to refrain from unlawful use of force, arbitrary arrest and detention of protesters and forceful abductions. We call upon the Acting Police Inspector General. This is what they want him to do, and they have 3 demands. The first one is refrain from deploying ununiformed or masked police officers dressed in hoodies, backgloves or other attire in attempt to hide their identities. Refrain from using unmarked vehicles or vehicles with distorted number plates or with no legal registration in order to commit crimes and evade justice, and also ensure that all policing operations are effectively commanded and any use of force complies with the principles of necessity and proportionality. Excessive lethal and non-lethal must not be used against protesters who do not pose an imminent threat of death or serious injury. This is a letter by the Police Reforms Working Group and the Law Society of Kenya, of course addressed to the law enforcement agencies in the country as far as the protests are concerned, with their 3 demands here, trying to say, to spell it out to the police in how to conduct themselves during the protest today. Now, I also want us to take a look at this particular story. Now, it is going to be hard for protesters going forward following the tabling of the Assembly and Demonstration Bill in the National Assembly. Now, the bill seeks to provide a legal framework for the regulation of assemblies and demonstrations as outlined in Article 37 of the Constitution. As Bentura Kwamboka now reports, protesters will going forward be, among others, required to make an application to the police to hold demonstrations.
The Assembly Demonstration Bill that seeks to provide a legal framework for the regulation of assemblies and demonstrations has undergone its first reading in Parliament. The bill, according to legal minds, will give the government powers to impose unnecessary restrictions on Kenyans exercising their democratic rights.
For them to be okay means that if they feel that they do not want to see assemblies or demonstrations, they will never okay, and they'll always give you flimsy reasons.
Introduced by Mbere North Member of Parliament Geoffrey Ruku, it will also see police, if it sails through, given powers to impose conditions on carrying out demos, including preventing protests from taking place in different locations apart from specified routes.
Talks about the regulating officer may in writing specify conditions for holding of assembly or demonstrations. So that again will bring an issue, because now it means, one, you seek approval instead of giving a notice as to how things are right now. They want to seek approval. They decide whether they give the approval or not. And if they give the approval, they give you conditions on how you're going to demonstrate. That in itself will bring constitutional issues, because you might decide to tell me that I want you to demonstrate in a certain way that I do not want, and maybe that suits your agenda.
Further, the bill seeks to have among the requirements of place, date and location of the protests the person who will be leading and controlling the demonstrations, further levying the liabilities incurred from damage of properties in the demos to the organizers.
We've had a scenario where there have been hired goons. So if these goons show up, they touch something and they steal or they do whatever they do or cause mayhem. So you want to say liability will be on this person who ordinarily sought to just have a peaceful demonstration and air their issues or present a petition. So they are saying in essence that even if you provide proof that you told people not to do anything wrong and something wrong happened, that in itself cannot be used as sufficient proof that you, as a person or organization, took reasonable steps to prevent the act in question.
However, the bill contrasts the freedom rights as stipulated in Article 37 of the Constitution.
The regulation officer will then, you can prevent you holding an assembly. That means, again, they go against the Constitution, because when they say that they will prevent you from holding an assembly, that is Section 7, Section 8, because of imminent danger. What is imminent danger? And who said it's imminent danger? Sometimes the police, as we've seen, are overzealous, and they go beyond the scope of what they're supposed to do to maintain law and order.
The reading of the bill comes on the heels of a heightened tension on tomorrow's demos, dubbed Nane, set to put pressure on government to account and force the exit of the current regime. Bentura Kwamboka, K24, Nairobi.
Now, the Kikuyu Council of Elders has now suspended this year's initiation for boys until next year, when they will be transiting from junior secondary school to secondary school. Now, under the Kiama, the elders noted that circumcising the grade 8 boys this year would have no meaning, as they would return back to grade 9, which is still domiciled in primary schools. Now, for this year, the community has circumcised boys who are transiting from primary to secondary. But this year, the process has changed following the introduction of the competency-based curriculum system. Now, the elders have further challenged the church, which is also involved in the initiation ceremony, to also change their dates.
Hiyo hata ile mambo wanaambiwa tunaona labda washiki kabisa, kwa sababu wagari ni watoto. Na vile serikali tuongeza mwaka ingine moja katika hii grade 9, hii grade ya 9, imetusaidia sana, kwa sababu wale vijana wameenda mwaka ingine juu kidogo, na wakati wanapatiwa maidha na hawa wazee, wakati wako pale, wakati wametahiri, wataishika vizuri. Vile mambo iko na vile serikali inasema na vile wazee wanaangalia na vile haja ya kutahiri ni nini, tunaenda mwaka ujao.
Wale wangetaka kutahirisha watoto wao, sisi hatuna haja, hatuna na ubaya na hawa, lakini tunaona wakitahiri warudi kwa shule zetu za watoto wale wako na primary. Hao watoto wataenda kuleta madhara juu ya watoto wadogo na watoto wakubwa.
All right, we do want to take another breather here on the program, but don't go too far. We'll be back with more coverage as far as the protests are concerned in the country.